Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today is part 2 of the top 20 college football rivalries of all time. Be sure to check out part 1 if you haven't already, and let's jump right into the video. In the number 10 spot we have Grambling State versus Southern. The most well-known rivalry game between historically black schools and universities is the Bayou Classic. The game has become colloquially known as the Black Super Bowl and has become ingrained in the culture of New Orleans, which has received approximately $50 million in income annually from hosting this game at the Superdome. However, the game is only a small portion of the Bayou Classic weekend celebrations, as the Battle of the Bands is prominent. Southern University's Human Jukebox Band takes on Grambling State University's world-famous Tiger Marching Band, with the two bands' choreography rivaling anything seen in major college football. In the number 9 spot, we have Stanford versus California. The Cal-Stanford rivalry extends beyond football, as many other sports have their own big moniker, similar to how football rivalry is known as the Big Game. The volleyball rivalry between the schools is known as the Big Spike, while the water polo rivalry is known as the Big Splash. The Big Freeze is obviously associated with hockey, whereas the Big Meet is associated with the school's track and field teams. The Big Game, on the other hand, is the most well-known, and it included one of the most infamous plays in college football history. When the two teams met in 1982, Cal trailed by a point with 4 seconds remaining. They then lateraled 5 times as the Stanford band rushed onto the field, believing the game was finished. But it wasn't. They then lateraled 5 times as the Stanford band rushed onto the field, believing the game was finished. It wasn't. And Cal scored in the end zone to surprise everyone. In Cal-Stanford mythology, that play is simply known as the play. In the number 8 spot, we have the University of Southern California versus Notre Dame. It's difficult to find two more prestigious programs than the Irish and the Trojans. They are both among the top 4 in terms of national titles and Heisman Trophy winners, and they've shared countless memorable moments, ranging from the green jersey game to Bush Push. The trophy that's awarded to the winner is equally remarkable. For each USC victory, a ruby-encrusted Trojan head is added to the foot-long club, and for each Notre Dame victory, an emerald-encrusted shamrock is added. Since its inception in 1952, the trophy has produced 4 more shamrocks than Trojan heads, owing to Notre Dame's 4 more victories. Up next, we have Alabama versus Auburn. While the Iron Bowl is one of the college football's most recognized rivalries, these in-state rivals once spent 41 years without playing each other. After years of annual competition, the two colleges couldn't agree on how much per diems to allow players for the game, which was played at the neutral location in Birmingham, Alabama at the time. The two schools didn't achieve an agreement on those and other matters until 1948, when the series was relaunched. In recent years, the famous games have included the Kick Six in 2013, won by Auburn, and the first overtime game in 2021, won by Alabama in quadruple overtime. In the number 6 spot, we have Minnesota versus Wisconsin. In head-to-head confrontations, only one game, one Wisconsin victory, separates these two. The border battle, which dates back to 1980, is thus the most competitive rivalry on our list. The annual winner receives the Paul Bunyan axe, which is a 6-foot axe. The scores of each game are engraved on the axe's handle, and the original axe is how on display at the College Football Hall of Fame. In the number 5 spot, we have Harvard versus Yale. This is the second oldest college football rivalry at all levels, after only Princeton versus Yale, which first met in 1875, and Harvard and Yale, which are the two oldest Ivy League colleges with the greatest endowments of any school and admissions rates of less than 5%. They've also have a combined 34 national championships, though none have been won since 1927. There are few programs or institutions with more history than these two, which is why their yearly meeting is simply known as the Game. In the number 4 spot, we have Oregon State versus Oregon. The trophy awarded to the most played in-state rivalry in FBS is given the school's mascots. Oregon's a duck, while Oregon State is a beaver. Hence, the platypus trophy is given since it possesses characteristics of both a duck and a beaver. It was given from 1959 to 61, but it was forgotten for over 40 years before being discovered in a cupboard at the University of Oregon in 2005. The schools, however, declined to make the trophy the official trophy of the competition after seeing its abstract distinctiveness. As a result, after a victory, it is delivered to the victorious school's alumni association rather than to either team. In the number 3 spot, we have Texas versus Oklahoma. This is the only rivalry on this list that features 2 teams in the top 5 of all-time wins. It is also known by several other names, including Red River Shootout or the Red River Showdown. Texas is ranked 4th, while OU is ranked 5th, and this rivalry will continue into the SEC. Today, spectators only remember the Cotton Bowl in Dallas as the game's host location, but it's been played all around Oklahoma and Texas. It has taken place in Norman, Oklahoma City, as well as Houston, Arlington, and Austin. However, it has been staged at the Cotton Bowl at the Texas State Fair on the second Saturday in October since 1932. In the number 2 spot, we have Ohio State versus Michigan. Over the last 120 years, they've competed for recruits, respect, and Big Ten championships, making it the best rivalry in major college football. The game was played annually from 1918 to 2019, but the epidemic canceled their 2020 gathering. What makes this rivalry unique is that the hostility extends not only to players and alums, but also to supporters of both schools. A 10-year-old child from Ohio, for example, was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor in 2011. Instead of referring to the tumor as cancer, they referred to it as Michigan. He then swore to defeat Michigan in the same way that Ohio State had done the previous 7 years. He was able to defeat Michigan for another 8 years before falling in 2019. And finally, at number 1, we have Army versus Navy. The Army-Navy game is a college football tradition that culminates the regular season. The game included the first use of instant replay in 1963 and has had 10 sitting presidents attend its history. In the first half of the 20th century, these two academies were football powers, and their annual encounter frequently had national championship significance. That no longer is the case, but the rivalry is also less passionate or significant. Beat Army and Beat Navy have become part of the language of university students, alums, and admirers. Along with the rivalry games between the service academies and the Air Force, the team with the best record from the series of games between the 3 schools receives the Commander and Trophy Chiefs for the year. Well guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Sports Source, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.